ki khubor ka bate si TV. Lawan Rashaphi taka Frank Motors. Visit Frank Motors or call 7045207973.
MIT University of Meghalaya. Our admissions are now open for the academic year 2024-25. Explore our best courses, experience global collaborations. Apply today.
Ke East West Group of Institution Bangalore kebeladon kemasan postemi A bat ke bapau baha ke kod admission na kebenta ke nursing and paramedical course ye ke Jingtip company kol hakini ke number harum ke Skill Online Games Institute ke di ke Skulbah ke belabu thong man Pynbiang ke Jingtip ke Lumlang bagi data shikar khana ile kai online ni ke online games industry ke thong jungki ke long ru ban kintir ke India's online games industry ha Meghalaya hakini ke sngi bamenta Lima kini ke Sogi la thumuru ban penne jumut lo ban kintiu ban wanra jingkla ban ajungi kai hagi online game sector dag ba phai shi ke jingla chong ka than ba ban I mean sim ki sab ki badan ha ka than ha ba kintiu ke hyper digital industry ke Skill Online Games Institute ke kod jingmut ban shim ye ki rai dag ba pinshong nongrim ha ki jing shisha blalum na kari ban na ka perthai ban ya da ke jingta halo ki online games industry ba ban kier ye ki jing sngo ni ki jing le shiliang Habakran chikla pathai ko bol wa Amrit Kiran Singh ubde founder president jong Sogi ulong kini ke jingyo I jingai kayalam ban kintiu ban pin scam ya ke animation VFX gaming comics task force da ke Ministry of Information and Broadcasting ke jing ithu jong Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology kum ka nodal ministry ba ke jing pin ithu ru ya ke regulatory frameworks limba ka IT rules
Basically I'm here to tell you about the Skill Online Games Institute. But before that, I'd like to tell you about the industry because you can understand why the Skill Online Games Institute in reference to the industry. So the online games industry is probably the largest industry in the world today. Definitely so in the entertainment space. But even across industries, it's one of the fastest growing and largest industries in the world today, with a huge potential to create jobs and allow companies to grow to enormous sizes. Just to give you an idea, the movie industry in the world, if you add Hollywood, Bollywood, whatever happens in England, France, Spain, Portugal, Tollywood in India, Telugu, cinema, all together is 42 billion US dollars worth, right? The music industry worldwide is 19 billion. So if you add the two together, it's roughly 62 billion. Do you know what the size of the online game industry is in the world already? The size of the online games industry is 159 billion, almost 3x, 3 times the size of the movie and the music industry put together. And it is growing at a much faster rate than the music and movie industry. And therefore, in 2 years, it is likely to be 5 times the size of the worldwide movie industry and music industry put together. That's how big this industry is, right? That's how big this industry is. Now, the problem with this industry is that it's a new industry, and therefore there is not enough information about the facts and figures of this industry. So by the time you go from here, I want to give you a master class on what this industry is all about. I want you all to be experts about this industry, right? So, as you know, India, the government of India, the Prime Minister, has set a target of 1 trillion digital economy. The digital economy in India should be 1 trillion by 2026, right? And that's a tough target. That's a stiff target. And the government will need several growth engines to reach that target, if it is to reach that target. Now, one of the growth engines in the digital space is the online gaming industry. And therefore, we believe that in the Skill Online Games Institute, that if the government just gives a little bit of encouragement, this industry can grow even faster and help India attain its target of 1 trillion digital economy, right? Um, so just to give you a context, today the industry in India is only 1% of the market share of the world market. Uh, China has 25% and America has 23% of the world market. But this is an industry in which India has natural ability, right? Because we are the champions in the world on IT, and therefore we have a lot of IT skills and talent. And therefore, if the government does nothing, we can gain 5% or 10% market share in the next 2 to 5 years. And just to give you a context, in the size of the industry in India is 3.5 billion US dollars, and it has created over 2 lakh jobs. So if we can move from 1%, and this is just 1%, if we move from 1% and grow it to 5%, you can imagine how many jobs in India it can create, and therefore, and how much it can contribute to the GDP. And we therefore think it is extremely important that this industry is given the right kind of importance, and we have been talking to the government. This industry in India is only 5 years old, but already companies like Gamescraft, Dream11, etc. have got huge valuations, and they're doing very well. In the Prime Minister's startup ecosystem, there are 400 profitable online gaming companies. Right? So, like I said, we've come to 3.5 billion, created about 2 lakh jobs, and it's only 5%. And we believe that unless we score self goals, we can easily go to 5 to 10% market share of the world, because we have talent in IT. And the self goals in this industry will be over regulation and over taxation, or both. So if we over regulate or we overtax, we will be scoring a self goal. The industry is at the same point, at the same inflection point that the IT industry was in the 90s. Right? IT industry in the 90s, where the IT industry which has transformed India, which has transformed India's image abroad as a professional, intelligent nation with high IQ. In the 90s was at a similar inflection point. And the way the government regulated this industry, handled this industry, taxed this industry, ensured that we have milked IT for the last 3 decades from the 90s, right? And we continue to milk IT. Now, what we do with the online gaming industry going forward in terms of regulation, taxation, will determine whether we can milk the online gaming industry for the good of India in the same way or not, right? Now, so it's 5 years old, but this industry had no recognition from the government. So in 2022, we went to the government and told them all this. And the government of India appointed a task force of nine ministries to determine who will be the nodal ministry for this industry. And at the end of 2022, the government decided that the Ministry of IT and Electronics, MeitY, will be the nodal ministry for this industry. So that was the first thing that they did. The MeitY, the Ministry of IT and Electronics, then came out with some draft regulations to regulate this industry. And in March of 2023, they actually notified the regulations for this industry. And the regulations are very good, are very encouraging. They have a self-regulating body it has a provision for a self-regulating body that will regulate this industry. Everything has been going fine. But suddenly, October 1st, 2023, the government decided to increase the GST on this industry. Um, just to give you an example, if the four of us are playing, one, two, three, four, and each of us, and we decide to play rummy or bridge or whatever online, and we all put 100 rupees each, right? The platform, the platform takes 10 rupees from that 100 rupees for its service fee for providing your platform. You don't play against the platform, we will play against each other. But because the platform is provided to play this game, the platform owner takes 10 rupees from the 100 rupees. So he takes 10 rupees. Now 90 rupees is left, 90 mine, 90 yours, 90 yours, 90 yours, 360 rupees. 90 into 4, 360 rupees. Who knows how to play whatever it is? If you're playing bridge, of the four of us whose skill is better in bridge, he wins, he takes 360 rupees. Right? He takes 360 rupees. TDS is deducted by the platform and given to the government. And the government is told, so it's that I put in, you put in, you put in. So instead of 18% on 10 rupees, the government now wants us to pay 28% on 100 rupees. Now, that is not, that is almost 1100% increase in tax. Suddenly, 1100% increase in tax. From 18% on 10 rupees to 28% on 100 rupees is roughly between 1000 and 1100%. Now, also legally we think it's wrong because we have not got that money. The companies have not got that money, right? The money has gone to Mr. Safan. How can I pay when I have not got it? He has to pay that money and he's paying income tax on it, he's paying TDS on it. Also, the law does not allow you to tax something that income tax is paid on. You can't pay another tax, TDS on it. Right? So even from that point of view, something that you're already paying TDS and income tax on, you can't pay further GST. So from all ways, it's wrong. And the same people who had helped us get regulation, and very good regulation, very encouraging the regulation for this industry, the Niti Aayog and the PMO, the Cabinet Secretariat, sorry. One of the reasons for this high GST is because every industry has some negatives, right? The negatives in this industry is that it is claimed that you could get addicted to this and lose money, right? There is the negative of addiction to, but you can get addicted to your mobile phone also. You can get addicted to TV also. But this is the only industry in which we can curb the negatives, we can mitigate the negatives, we can make the negative zero, because there is, through technology, you can lock out a person. Supposing government sits with the industry and we have mental health experts who know about addiction from AIMS or some good institute, and they say 10 hours of, if a person plays 10 hours of online games in a week, he will get addicted. We can actually lock the person out through technology, because in online games, when you put any money, you have to do KYC. KYC we have agreed already in the regulations that KYC will be at the level of the RBI guidelines, the highest level, right? So your Aadhaar card is there, all those details are there, PAN card details are there. So if a person if the government and the experts and the industry decides that if somebody has played 10 or 14 or 15 hours, or whatever that number is, we can actually lock out the player, that he cannot play after he's reached that, right? So to check in other industries you can do nothing. In fact, take alcohol industry. Alcohol industry is also bad for people. But what can you do? You cannot do anything. Only you can put a slogan: drinking is injurious to health. Or in some state they'll say excessive drinking is injurious to health. But you can't do anything. people who eat burgers, etc., where there is processed foods, trans fats kill you, but you can't do anything about it. But here, you can actually do something about addiction by actually using technology tools to lock people out at whatever the hours the government decides. So there is no reason to look at it from a moral standpoint and raise taxes to discourage people from playing. You can do it through technology. Now the problem when you raise taxes like you have raised just now. So we've started up with the East and we've selected Shillong as the second place that we have actually gone out and reached out to the press and reached out to the people. Because we believe that all governments do work. What they believe is the electorate wants them to do. So understanding this industry and knowing the potential of this industry and how it can benefit and the negatives can actually be curbed. There are practical ways of actually curbing and mitigating the negative parts is what I wanted to bring to the fore as Sogi. And telling you that this is an industry for young people. The fact that 2 lakh jobs have been created, the vast majority of people involved in this industry are young people. Most of the CEOs of these companies are 36-year-old people who've studied at IITs or some of the bigger ones, and are just graduates who've started these companies. And it's completely, I mean, almost 80% of the players are people who are below the age of 35. And the industry is a very young and nascent industry, so it's a great place for people to start building the future, learning coding and making a career in it. But it has vast potential for just creating jobs and wealth, and therefore we need to nurture it like we nurtured the IT industry. 28% is not a problem. 28%, if it is charged on the platform fee, which we get, is not a problem. But 28% is being charged on 100 rupees, which is the competition entry amount, which doesn't come to us, which does not belong to the platform.
Yes.
It belongs to you.
Yeah.
How can the platform pay tax on money that is not coming to them? So there were earlier, before the change, it was 18% on the platform fee, on the 10 rupees, on the platform fee. Now it is 28% on CEA, the competition entry amount. We are not worried about, if it was 28% on platform fee, no problem. I mean, it's not a good thing, it's the highest slab, but that's fine. I mean, still logical. But on CEA is not paid, there's no logic to it. That money is not mine, it's yours. If you play online games with money, even 10 rupees, you have to do your KYC. You have to have an Aadhaar card and you have to have a PAN card, right? Because the regulations of METI that were notified in March of 2023, regulations of METI notified in March of 2023 says that the KYC for any player on any platform will have to be of RBI standards. So your data is all there. Now so it's very easy to technology put, because your data on your Aadhaar card, your age and everything. First of all, a kid will not have an Aadhaar card or a PAN card. But even if he has got it for some reason, his age will be there. Right? So you can do that. Not only do that, you can do more than that. If the mental health experts at AIMS or NIMHANS or wherever the respective institutes say that their studies show that if you play 14 hours a week, you can get addicted, or whether it's 8 hours or 14 hours or whatever that number is, we can actually, through the same technology, lock you out once you've clocked. So even addiction can be completely controlled and mitigated here, which you can't do it most other industries. There is no other industry in which you can do that. Alcohol industry, you can't do anything. Trans fats and fast food industry, you can't do anything except advisory. Here you can actually lock people out if the government says that as soon as the regulation, the hours that we have agreed with the government, he has crossed.